Hey, praise God, y'all. Hey, I just wanted to get on here and post a quick video update about this past weekend. Man, it was nonetheless to say it was pretty exciting weekend. This is November 9th, 2013, and this past weekend it's pretty exciting, man. Just had a lot going on, a lot of different things happening. Mainly, the biggest thing that went on this past weekend was Recession Proof 2013, which happened in Dallas, Texas, specifically the Oak Cliff area. If anybody knows Oak Cliff, then obviously I'm pretty sure you've heard of Keys Park. Keys Park was the location for this year's Recession Proof, and it was for me it was just pretty awesome. Just in many aspects, many different areas. I'm just going to touch on a few different things because I just want to kind of give people an update about what happened, what the whole goal was, and how God really just used so many people to help make it possible. First off, planning went into recession proof only a couple of months ago. And within that time, God used various people and businesses to donate approximately 6,000 pieces of clothing. I don't even know how much food was out there, but I know that it was more than enough. In the end, we ended up giving people, the people that were still there towards the end, we let them go back through and get another round of groceries and another round of clothing to be able to take home with them. So it was an abundance. It was more than enough. And with that even being said, there was 500 families who were affected by Recession Proof that happened on Saturday. So it like I said, nonetheless, it was to say that we had more than enough. It was more than enough of everything that went around. We were serving, cooking food, out there, hot dogs, chips, drinks and so forth. That was all part of the efforts that came through, the donations and everything else that was done. They had cotton candy machine out there, popcorn machine. So, there was kids running around, enjoying that, parents as well. There was a lot of live music, I'll get into that here in a second. But then there was a barber school that was out there cutting hair, and I mean, they were busy the whole time, all day. I don't even know how many kids and even adults had their hair cut and styled while they were out there at Recession Proof, which was a blessing. I know personally, I had family go out there that I know, were in need as well. But they just some of my family just went out there just to serve as well. And so with that, man, I just really want to say thank you, to everybody that had played any kind of part in Recession Proof, whether it was giving, whether it was being one of the volunteers, whether it was just even if you just shared the video or the flyer on your Facebook to let people know about it. I know that there was 2 elementary schools in the area that received flyers, and so that every student was able to take home a flyer and give it to their parents, so they were able to decide. I mean, by 9:15, the line was already backed up to the parking lot from the registration table. They had 2 lines, and I mean, the registration went so quick. I mean, within just a matter of less than 30 minutes, they had basically more than half of the people had been registered at that point that showed up throughout the course of the day, and I would even say maybe 75% of the people were registered by 10:30, and so just so much clothes given away. I mean, the whole pavilion was full of clothes, and everything was gone. I think there was only maybe a box or so of specific like men's clothes. That was it. That was really it. There was Methodist Hospital was out there doing blood health screenings for men ages 40 years old and over. So just making sure that the men in that age group were healthy. They did that. So it was just a tremendous blessing, man. Just being part of it. part of everything. It was an honor, man. I mean, in all honesty, it was one of the greatest exhibitions of love that I've seen in Dallas uh, ever. I mean, it was a major blessing. Um, there were some specific things that stood out to me during the time, and I just wanted to kind of share those with you because um, you know, all the food was given away, you know, all the clothes and everything, all that was done, you know, in love, and so everybody was blessed, you know, that received from that, you know, and that was a great part of it. But to me, two specific instances really stood out to me over everything else, and one of them I'll share was when I spoke to a young man that was there. Um, he was probably in his late 20s, grew up in the area in Oak Cliff. Um, he was a husband. He's a husband and also a father of four children. All of his children were over there getting their haircut and with the mom, and they were just there. But you know, he had an interesting story. But before he even got into any details, for some reason, the Lord just directed me to this young man for whatever reason, you know, just to minister to him. And as I was just speaking to him, I just felt, you know, impressed to pray for him. And as I laid my hand on him to pray for him, it was just an extreme heaviness that fell over my heart, man. And it was like my heart sank to the bottom of my stomach. It was like a great grieving that I felt in my inner man. My spirit was just so saddened and grieved. And as I was preparing to just pray for him, I started praying for him. I just couldn't even finish praying. I just stopped, and I just felt like the Lord had given me some specific words to speak over him. And so I was just telling him that, you know, that God has a great purpose for him, and that that the grieving that I feel for him is overwhelming to the point to where I feel that he has some burdens and things in his past that he needs to leave behind. And in the end, after I finished speaking over him and I prayed with him, you know, that God would work in his life and that God would send laborers across his path. When I finished praying, he just began to open up to me and told me some of the things that had happened to him in his life. He basically told me about 6 years ago he gave his life to Christ and he began going to church. And what led him to that was because he had gotten shot 5 times at close range, and in 4 bullets in his back. And just from the conversation, he started telling me that he is basically giving up on church and attempting to be a Christian because of some negative experiences that he had, where he was basically being taken advantage of by the ministry, and basically like just financially being being conned out of his money, you know, based out on the words of ministers, specifically the pastor that was over him. And so he basically told me that, you know, he trusts very few people as a result of that now. He basically told me that he wants to do, he really wants to do the things of God. He wants to serve God, but he just doesn't know where to go. He doesn't believe that he can trust another minister, trust another pastor. And I just believe that God directed me to him. Not because I've been through a similar circumstance or anything, but mainly just because I feel like I understand what he's talking about in that way. I can really empathize with his feelings, because in all honesty, man, that's really That's really every story that I hear. Every negative story that I hear is always about uh, anything negative I've ever heard about a church has got to do with money. I mean, that's just always what it's come down to. And um, I think I think personally, like he and I were talking, I think the greatest um, issue is not even about money. It's the greatest issue that I really feel that we have as believers, man, is that we're not really loving people. We're not really loving people the way that we should. I mean, obviously, I understand the ministry needs finance to go on. You know, the building needs to be paid, the bills need to be paid, the lights need to be paid, the staff needs to be paid. I'm not against any of that stuff, man. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that's fine. But in the end, we're not really loving people. We're not really loving people the way we should. As a church, if we're really loving on people, man, like this recession proof event, it should be going on all the time, everywhere around us. But just different places, different ministries doing the same thing. I mean, it's I just don't see a lot of it happening all the time. I mean, once a year, someone will put an event together. A church will, do their annual, event. But it's just for me. It's just hard to see people in that situation because I can understand what he's saying, and like I say, if we would just love people, man, the way that we should, we wouldn't have this problem. We really wouldn't, man. I mean, if we were just loving people, it wouldn't matter, if they bring their tithe or not. I mean, it shouldn't matter if they're bringing their tithe or not. That we can help them financially, with food or whatever it is that's going on. If the ministry's able to do it and they're there, I mean, we should do it. We should do it. I mean, um, if somebody is going through a situation in our church, if somebody's attending our church and they're dealing with life and they're dealing with some circumstances, and they need you to pray with them. They need you over there at their house. They need you to talk to them. Um, we should love them. We should love them enough to make time for them. And so many times I've lived it. I've lived it in that same way. It just gets so busy to where I can't even love people. I'm too busy. I've been too busy with the logistics and the mechanics of running church that I don't get to be the church. I'm just being straight up, man. I mean, I've got some things that are happening with me that I'm not gonna, use this as an opportunity to say anything more than just the fact that I'm thankful that God is allowing me this season of where I am to be able to just really love people, man. I mean, because the community that we're in needs more of that. We need more of it, and I thank God that He's connecting me to some great people that really have a heart to do the same thing. And I've basically been on a mission recently, and really wanting to utilize my time and efforts more to just love on people, man, and be the church, be the believers, and be the ones that are doing the works that God said that we should be doing. That we would lay hands on the sick and they shall recover. That we should go to every nation and preach the gospel. That we should teach repentance to all nations beginning in Jerusalem. I mean, I believe that, man. And I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for people that have a heart to want to do that. I mean, I thank God for Adam's Family Ministries, and everything that God put on their heart to do with this event, because it was incredible. It was just incredible, man. Just seeing that happening around me, and it was a tremendous blessing. It was a tremendous blessing. Um, I want to say thank you to all the people that helped make it possible. From the donations, um, the people that came out to not only volunteer, but even like many of the artists that came out to perform. I mean, I didn't even really feel a need to put an artist lineup out there for people. If y'all didn't notice that, I didn't put an artist lineup out there. I didn't announce the artist because I didn't want people out there just to go see their favorite artist or somebody that they know. I wanted people that wanted to just go out there and love on people, man. And these artists didn't just go out there and just step on the stage and leave. These guys stayed the whole time. I mean, many of them were carrying groceries to these people's car. Many of them were serving groceries, serving food, picking up trash, helping to put the stage away, helping out with equipment, helping out, just anywhere, praying with people. I mean, that's what it was all about. That's what it was all about. And so many times we just get caught up in doing stuff because we want to see something or we want to be entertained, and so we go to these events because we want the entertainment that comes with it. And so I do want to give specific names on the ones that came through, man, because I really do love these brothers, man, and I'm glad I'm connected to these guys, man. And so we did have artists that came out, and it was my friends God Nation from God Nation, my good friend Kinfolk D Ray and Ashley. They came out. Also, Mr. Trinity and his family came out. I mean, that's just what I'm saying. His family was out there serving too, man. Man, I can't even remember who else was out there too, man. I can't even forget the guys that came from Tyler that drove a couple hours to be out there with us. Nate Hill and Steve and I and Orlando. Those guys all came out with their families, and a few friends that just wanted to come out and help and be part of it. And I asked them to help with the way that they helped me the most was that they helped MC and just keep everything rolling, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to do that personally, even though, I could have done it, but they wanted to come and be part of it. And so, they're part of Meekness music group out in Tyler. Orlando is a music producer / DJ, and Nate Hill out there, they have a radio show that comes on Thursdays, and he just reached out to us, man, and said that he wanted to be part of it. So I'm thankful for those guys, that came out to do that. I don't want to forget any names, man, but let's see. Another guy that I met while I was out there is a brother named Trump, I believe is his name. He was there, and then another young lady, Kingdom Girl was what they called her. So she was up there as well. And Jr. Josh Reyes, he was another artist that was up there as well, man. So good people, man, that just wanted to come out and serve, and it was a blessing, man. It was a blessing, and I'm thankful that all of those guys, basically every one of those guys that was there will be at our toy drive. They're just good people, man, and they see it the same way I do. It's about just wanting to love on people and serve and be part of something that's really affecting other people in multiple ways, and that's what it's all about, man. So aside from that, man, I had a great opportunity today to just disciple my little brother, and had some discipleship with him, and doing our studies together, man. It's been a great blessing just seeing him grow in the Lord, man. And so that's another great thing that I'm just so thankful for in the season that I'm in, because I feel like if I was in the situation where I was in my other in my previously before he was out, I don't think I'd be able to love him the way that God is allowing me to, because I'd be so busy doing things and mechanically just staying preoccupied with so many different responsibilities that I can't even be free to love my own little brother. So I'm thankful, man. I'm thankful for that opportunity, for real. You know, all the people that came out, Hog Mob, Dallas, of course, man. My brothers from Forgiven Ministry were there, David and Mike, just putting in a lot of effort. And I mean, just every time I looked over there, David, he was either picking up trash or, helping move boxes and, passing out Bibles. I mean, it was a great time, man. It was a great time. And so, man, I just, I'm just really looking forward to this toy drive, man. Now I'm trying to get I'm moving past the recession proof now, and just kind of looking back and pondering, everything that went on. And I'm excited about the people that were touched through it. But at the same time now, man, I'm just kind of just getting my focus and my eyes, up to the point to where now I'm looking at this toy drive, and I really want to do, the best that I can to serve the people in Wynwood and Buckner, man. I mean, we're going to do some great things with that, man. I know God is really just going to bless and provide everything, man, in that area, man, and too. So there's also, there's also another family that I know that God has really given His family to us to help, man. And that's Joey and Sarah Turner out in Houston. They're the parents of Jeremiah Turner. Jeremiah Turner is he's 10-month-old little boy that's going through 2 open heart surgeries, and he's basically getting a lot better. But they've had some clashes with the hospital staff, and some things going on there that's really created a big problem for Joey, and basically restricting him from working as a result of basically the strict supervision that they're putting the parents under, and basically made it very difficult for them to be able to think anything. They're basically making it difficult for them to do anything except just be at the bedside 24/7, both parents, and just really almost legalistically really try to do some things to make them appear to be unfit parents in the eyes of CPS. And so Joey's basically had to stop working for a couple months while they were in the hospital. And so God has given us that family to help, man. And so our toy drive is also going to be a benefit toy drive and concert. We're not only going to be raising toys, collecting toys to give to Buckner International in Dallas, but we are also now anyone who would like to donate, any cash donations that come through will be directly given to the Turner family, directly to them. If you can't come out, you don't have to show up to give. You can go to jeremiahsheart.com and you can give right there on the website. I mean, you don't have to give it to us to give to them. You can just go to www.jeremiahsheart.com and just give on the website right there. You can read the whole story about what Jeremiah has been through, what he's going through now. You can see pictures and videos of him growing. And we were visiting him down over the summer out in Houston. We were down there, my family and I. We had dinner with them, and we basically just hung out over at the park and everything. downtown, and so it was good just to be out there fellowshipping with them, and just seeing the growth, and everything happening in their lives, man. So, I mean, if there's any bit of leading for you to do anything in that regard, man, I mean, just do it, man. Just be led, though, man. Give as you feel, as you purpose in your own heart to give. But I know that they're going through some things, right now with the finance part of it. So if anybody just feels compelled to give at all, man, just pray about it, man, and just seek God about whether you could help in that area, man. Because that's a good place. That's a good place to be able to sow, and I mean, they've gone through a lot. They've really gone through a lot, and so I also, in the same breath, I want to talk about another event that's happening out in Houston. December, I believe it's December 14th. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure that's the weekend. I talked to Fire from World Rejects about a month ago, and I told him about the toy drive. I was basically asking him if there was a way that he could put together maybe some kind of benefit concert for the Turner family to help them out during the season that they're going through, at least until Joey can get back to work. And he mentioned that they were going to have a toy drive. And so he talked to the World Rejects and his pastor, who's also their manager, and they decided that they are going to do the same thing. They're going to do a concert toy drive / benefit. And the financial contributions will go to the Turner family, and the toys are going to be given away, to whatever organization or people that the World Rejects decide to give to, man. And so, I mean, I shared the website with him, and it was almost funny because right after, literally right after I talked to Fire, less than an hour later, I get an email from DJ DMD, and DJ DMD hit me up, and I had emailed him 4 months ago, probably. I messaged him on Facebook 4 months ago, asking if he wanted to be part of the Forgiving Project, and God was just pointing people out to me to ask to be part of it, and see if they wanted to be part of it. He was one of them. And he hadn't responded in 4 months about that. And so he responded about the Forgiving Project. And he was like, yeah, I'm down. Let me know if it's not too late, what I could do, how I can be part of it. And I was like, I got something even bigger than that right now at this point. If you would like to, I'd like to see about maybe you getting involved in this thing that I just talked to Fire from World Rejects about. And if it's okay, I'd like to get y'all in contact with one another. And maybe, just use your, I wasn't even asking them to do anything, like to give or be part of the event or nothing, as far as coming out there and performing or anything at their concert. I wasn't asking him for that. All I was asking for him is if he wanted to do something that would help to just use his social media influence on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff, and just once they make the announcement, to start, telling people about it. And then that way people know, and people out there in Houston will know about the event and about everything that's going on. And from what I understand, Fire and DJ DMD have talked since then, man. And as a matter of fact, I saw a post last week on Instagram where DJ DMD basically is already announcing the toy drive and benefit in Houston that's happening, and it's looking like December 14th is the weekend. And the even greater thing that happened to me personally, another blessing that happened, another great blessing that happened for me, is that I'll be in Houston that weekend to be able to go down there for the event. It wasn't even planned like that. God just worked it all out, man. So I'm blown away in a lot of times, man. A lot of cases, man. I'm just still in awe of what God is doing, man. And I'm just thankful for all the opportunities that He's given for me to be involved in people's lives, man. And these coming months, man, This past month and this coming month, I believe God has really just moved and done some phenomenal things, man. I mean, I'm not even telling y'all everything at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like God has already just put other things on people's heart, and I've just been getting phone calls from people to be connected on different things, man. Things that I wanted to do 12 years ago, people are calling me, asking me if I want to be part of this. And like I said, man, had I been in a position where I was mechanically trying to function and basically keep a church ministry going, ministries under a church, the way I was before, I couldn't even consider it, man. I couldn't even consider it. Yeah, I mean, just having so much going on, man. So aside from that, man, I'm just excited, man. I'm blessed, really, by so many things that God's been doing in my life, man. And I just wanted to really just give y'all like a weekend update, but then also to kind of share some things that are coming up. And this week I talked to Chili today, man, and this week we're gonna be sitting down with Gospel Gangsters, man. Basically the very first Christian rap group I ever heard of. I'm gonna be talking to them on the phone on Forgiven TV this Tuesday, man, and just chopping it up with basically the rap group that had the most influence in my life as a believer. The first ones to really have an impact in my life, because I don't know when I would have heard about Christian rap music. I had already been serving God a couple years, and I was still listening to secular rap music. Still listening to the same old thing. And when I found their music, I basically started looking more into that. I was listening, I was trying to listen to the old, it wasn't even Hillsong back then. I think it was like Integrity or something music. It was before the Hillsong stuff was even out. So I mean, that's what I used to listen to. I used to try to listen to them old, traditional songs and stuff. And I never really got plugged in on a lot of that stuff, man. I did, there were certain songs that I enjoyed, but I'm gonna tell you, man, I've had greater experiences worshiping God with rap music than I've had more likely listening to any, traditional worship music, And so, that's just my music of choice. Everybody has their own thing, but yeah, man, it's just been it's been a great blessing, man. So I'm looking forward to sitting down with them. Looking forward to the toy drive, and so like I said, man, just if you don't do anything on this, you don't have to share this video or anything, man. If you even watched it, just pray, man. Pray, pray for Dallas, as a whole. Pray for the body of Christ as a whole. Pray that the people of God would love people the way that we should, man. And just pray for everything that's coming up in this coming season, man. I mean, these holidays and stuff are supposed to be the days when people are more generous and all this and that, man. But we should be doing that. It shouldn't take a Thanksgiving or a Christmas to get people up out of their chairs to want to give and be a blessing, man. We should just pray and ask God, when we should do it. And all I'm saying, man, is just enjoy the journey, man, because it's been it's a great blessing to be a follower of Christ during this season, man. Christ is coming soon, and he needs more laborers in the harvest, man. He needs more. So I pray that you be one of them. Pray you be one of them. I pray that God would use you to be a blessing to somebody, man, whether it's in your family, somebody that he directs you to give, maybe a stranger, or somebody you don't really know too well. But just be open to the leading of the Holy Ghost, man. Let him use you, man. Don't be afraid to step out and lay hands on somebody, man, and let him use you to speak to somebody, man. You just don't know how many lives will be affected by that one person that you touch. Straight up. God bless y'all, man.